रामा पीछा न छोड़े, भज भज पाप की गठरिया हो बजरंग बली। रामा भज भज पाप की गठरिया हो बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली। कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली। रामा कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली। काम क्रोध मद लोभ में तारो, लोभ में तारो रामा लोभ में तारो। काम क्रोध मद लोभ में तारो, लोभ में तारो रामा लोभ में तारो। बहु माया की बसरिया हो बजरंग बली, बहु माया की बसरिया हो बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली। राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई, कर लो कमाई राम कर लो कमाई। राम नाम धन कर लो कमाई, कर लो कमाई राम कर लो कमाई। भर लो मन की त्रिचुड़िया हो बजरंग बली, भर लो मन की त्रिचुड़िया हो बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली। कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली। रामा कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली। कभी देने से तोड़े चढ़ना पड़त है, चढ़ना पड़त है, चढ़ना पड़त है। कभी देने से तोड़े चढ़ना पड़त है, चढ़ना पड़त है, चढ़ना पड़त है। बहु पहुँचे राम की गलिया हो बजरंग बली, बहु पहुँचे राम की गलिया हो बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली। कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली। रामा कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली, बजरंग बली। कब लोगे हमारी खबरिया हो बजरंग बली।
रसतोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्ति त्रयात्मका त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं पुष्पम् त्वं सच्चिदानन्द द्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं तत्त्वो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं प्रत्येति त्वं भूमि आपो निलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वा आत्मदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मका त्वां योगिन्यो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं रुद्रस्त्वं इन्द्रस्त्वं अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरो गणादि पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादि इन सररन्तरम् अनुस्वार परतरः अरदेन्द्रलासितं तथा नारेन्द्ररिद्धम् एतत्त्वगुणु स्वरूपमकारो मध्यम रूपं बिन्दुरुत्तर रूपं नादः सन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सौषा गणेश विद्या गणकऋषिः निस्तृप् गायत्री छन्दः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनं वरनानने ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमोऽस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे पुलारयन्द्रयतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरु देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ओम नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमतये नपत्पते अस्तु लंबोदराय एकदंताय विघ्न विनाशिने शिवसुताय श्री वरदमूर्तये नमो नमः।
प्रेम से बोलो व्यास भगवान की जय। प्लीज बी सीटेड। रतना सिंहासन पर फूलन से फूलन वाले माला फूलन से
उतारो में आरत श्री रामायण जी की आरत श्री रामायण जी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
आरत श्री रामायण जी की हरि ओम व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासाय रूपाय विष्णवे नमो ब्रह्मनिधाय व्यासिष्ठै नमो नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं देव। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हरि ओम। शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो व्यास महाराज की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
सत्य सनातन धर्म की
जय।
सब संतन की जय। जय सीताराम।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
आन परागत तेरे द्वारे हे बजरंग हनुमान, हे महावीर करो कल्याण, हे महावीर करो कल्याण। मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे, मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे। तीनों लोक तेरा जियारा, दुखियों का तूने काज संभारा। तीनों लोक तेरा जियारा, दुखियों का तूने काज संभारा। हे जगवंदन केसरी नंदन, हे जगवंदन केसरी नंदन। कष्ट हरो है कृपाई राय, कष्ट हरो है कृपाई राय। मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे, मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे। तेज द्वारे जो भी आया, काले नहीं कोई राह पाया। तेरे द्वारे जो भी आया, काले नहीं कोई राह पाया। चलता तो छुपारा बनहारे, चलता तो छुपारा बनहारे। मंगल मेरे जो वरदान, मंगल मेरे जो वरदान। मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे, मंगल मूर्ते राम दुलारे। भक्ति की रोता छटा जो मन में, राम कृपा बरसे जीवन में। भक्ति की रोता छटा जो मन में, राम कृपा Thank you very much, your daughter from the street, Trumurti Barwan. Thank you very much for that beautiful bhajan. And now we have the maestro himself, no other than our Bhai Babluji will now do the next rendition. After which we have Bhai Vishal and over to you.
हो जब जब भीड़ परी भक्तों पर, तब तब प्रभु आए हैं। भक्त तुम्हारी तू भक्तन के, नेक संकट सितारे हैं। आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का, आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का। रामायण की कथा है वर्णन, लीला है भगवान का। आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का, आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का। ये रामायण की कथा है वर्णन, लीला है भगवान का। आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का, आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का। पूजा राम के नाम महान है राम के नाम महान रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई हो रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई प्राण जाए पर बचन न जाए आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम हे रामायण की कथा है वर्णन लीला है भगवान का आगे सुन लो कथा श्री राम का आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम का आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम हे रामायण की कथा है वर्णन लीला है भगवान का आगे सुन लो कथा श्री राम आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम आओ सुन लो कथा श्री राम
प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Thank you, my brother Richie, and over now to Baigan form.
To our Dharmacharya, Pandit Chunelall, Narine. Give him a big round of applause, please. Dharmacharya.
एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रो प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः नारायण विद्महे श्रीकृष्णाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः आञ्जनेय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रो प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः महालक्ष्मी विद्महे सर्वशक्ति धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः गायत्री ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः अग्निविदे पुरुषां यज्ञस्य देववृत्वजं भूकारं रत्नधातव अग्निदेवाय नमः अग्ने जात वेदसे इदं नमः। प्रेम से अग्नि भगवान की विप्रनंदिनी श्रोतागण, माता पिता, भाई और बहनों, जय श्री राम। सबसे पहले मैं भगवान श्री राम की चरण कमलों को मैं सिर झुकाकर बारंबार नमस्कार करता हूं। भगवान के आसन के पास से हम लोग इस पवित्र अयोध्या में उपस्थित हुए हैं। पूरे हफ्ते में और श्री राम, सीता मां, हनुमान जी इत्यादि की महिमा हम लोग सुन रहे थे और आज भी हम लोग अति भाग्यवान हैं कि अपने अपने घर को छोड़कर और यहां पर पहुंच गए। भगवान की महिमा श्री रामचरित्र मानस से हम लोग मैं आप लोगों को पेश कर रहा हूं। इसलिए मैं आप लोगों को स्वागत करते हैं इस कथा को, इस रामायण के पाठ को और इस अयोध्या को। Join together, few moments prayers. चरितं रघुनाथस्य षट्कोटि प्रविस्तरम् एकाकमक्षरं पुंसां महापातकनाशनम्। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम, श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम, श्री राम राम रणकर्कश राम राम, श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम। श्री रामचंद्र चरण मनसा स्मरामि, श्री रामचंद्र चरण वचसा गृह्णामि, श्री रामचंद्र चरण शिरसा नमामि, श्री रामचंद्र चरण शरणं प्रपद्ये। माता राम मत्पिता रामचन्द्रः, स्वामी रामो मत्सखा रामचन्द्रः, सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालु, नान्यं जाने नैव जाने न जाने। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य, वामे तु जनकात्मज, पुरतो मारुतस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की।
Reverend and esteemed
Pandits, our beloved Shrota, our Mataji, Champati, Kirtan Mandali, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, honorable guests, Jai Shri Ram. Must I say it twice? Jai Shri Ram. It gives me great pleasure this evening once again to extend a very hearty welcome to all of you joining us at this Saturday night, final night of our recitation of the Sri Ramacharya that commenced last Sunday and that concludes tonight. And of course tomorrow will be the Gita Mahatmya. First and foremost, we bow the lotus feet of the Lord for affording us the opportunity, blessing us all, allowing us to be here, putting aside all your busy activities and your chores to spend these few moments at the feet of God, imbibing His nectar-like glories, praising Him in many ways, enlightening ourselves with His exploits, and leaving here with a message and with an affirmation of God's love for all of us. And that's the reason why we've come here tonight, the reason why we've been here night after night, so that all of us could leave here each night, especially tonight, feeling good about yourself. Feeling good to know that there is someone who truly loves you, someone who truly cares about you. And His name is Sri Ram. I would like to commend our Mataji, Champaji, the mother of Hanumanji. You know, night after night she comes and she sits very quietly in this chair here. And she listens to the Ramayana. And as is customary, she's been sponsoring ever since Ramayana in the Park began on Saturday night. And here she is again, in good health, in good spirits, finding the energy and the time to sponsor again. Tonight is Ramayana in the Park, Saturday night. Please give her a nice round of applause. And I would like to recognize all our Pandits who are here tonight. Pandit Neeraj, who recited to us from the Aranyakan of Ramacharya. We have Pandit Silati, who commenced the journey on Sunday night. We have Pandit Dubeji, who is here with us also, Pandit Mahadevji, who is here with us, Amit, and all the other Pandits who are here. We salute all of you here this evening, and sir, we thank you for coming this evening, and thank you for your kind words. And next to you is my own godson and Shishya, our Honorable Attorney Rusat Ramgopal as well. Uncle Jai is also here for the future Murti Bhavan. I'm going to put your hands together for my wonderful group here on stage, musical accompaniment. And I want to thank also Cindy G. Cindy, who has come all the way from Poughkeepsie to be with us here this evening and accompanying us wonderfully on the keyboard. So thank you very much, Cindy G, for making this special trip and being here with us. And I want you to put your hands together also for the Ramayan in the Park Committee, the organizers of this event, who have worked very, very hard. This is not ordinary task to put all of this together for the duration of the entire week. The resources that are necessary, the amount of energy and the sacrifice that is put in the work, is put into all of this to make it happen year after year. It is no easy feat, but nonetheless, with determination and with a love for God and for the true spirit of seva or selflessness, year after year, they find a way to host all of us here for the entire week. So we certainly appreciate that, and we commend them and know the Lord is very happy. And for all those of you who have been attending here night after night, and those who are here tonight for the final session, indeed we salute you. Please give yourselves a nice round of applause as well. My dear brothers and sisters, let me commence by saying that the world as we speak is experiencing change. There is dramatic change in the areas of culture, in the area of how we conduct ourselves. What we're witnessing in our world today, in many parts, is very pathetic. If we were to compare what we're experiencing in this age to an era consistent with post-creation of the world, we'll find that there are dramatic differences. Now, if you go back as recent as 50 years, you'll find that from 50 years to now, there's been a degeneration in culture and in the mentality of the humankind. The scriptures, however, can change. What is written in the scriptures are there forever. We can change what is written in the text to adjust to our ways. We must adjust our ways to the teachings of the scriptures. Very beautifully, this poet captures this thought and puts it in the song. देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। सूरज न बदला, चांद न बदला, ना बदला रे आसमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। So the poet asked the question, like he's saying that, Lord, देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गई भगवान, Lord, what has happened to your world? I think God needs to ask us that question. What have you done with my world? What has changed? Suraj na badla, the sun hasn't changed. Chand na badla, nor has the moon changed. Na badla re asman, nor has the sky changed. So what has really changed over the years? Kitna badal gaya insan. Mankind has changed. And unfortunately, we're not changing for the better as we speak. The news is not very good. So what is happening? आया समय बड़ा दे दंगा, आज आदमी बना लफंगा, कहीं पे झगड़ा कहीं पे रंगा, नाच रहे नर होकर नंगा, चलो और कपट के हाथों अपना बेच रहा ईमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान। What we're witnessing in our world today, my dear brothers and sisters, is oppression of every type. We're seeing men in position becoming drunk with power, simply reluctant to relinquish power, and leaders becoming dictators, becoming despots, and in so doing, there is so much persecution and so much suffering in so many parts of the world. We're saying where people no longer have a voice to speak up for their rights, where they're denied that innate, inherent, God-given freedom. We are all lucky we are residing in a country of freedom, in a country of democracy, which is the United States of America. What you are enjoying in this country, not so in many other countries. People are being deprived of their rights. Over here there's a war, over there there's a strife. We see all kinds of sufferings, horrific sufferings around the world. It is a very ugly picture indeed that presents itself to all of us. Kitna badal gaya insan, how much mankind has changed. In the midst of such change, my dear brothers and sisters, the Ramayana needs to be heard more frequently. All of us need to draw inspiration from the text, and regardless of what religion you may belong, not necessarily to Sanatan Dharma, but people need to turn to God. People need to feel God's presence today. People need to gravitate towards a life of spirituality. People need to walk hand in hand with these sacred mandates given to us in the sacred texts of our Shastras, our Dharma. So tonight, we shall be examining the Uttarkand of Sri Ramacharya, and let us see how the Ramayana can benefit us, how we can, in what way all of us can change the world again from this Kali Yuga into Satyuga. You know, it is as simple as going to bed one night with a change of heart. If everybody goes to bed tonight with that thought, tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to forgive my enemy. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to make amends with all those whom I can't get along with. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll be a different person. If everyone goes to sleep with that thought and wakes up the next morning materializing that thought, then, my dear brothers and sisters, in an instant, the world becomes heaven on earth. Om Varnanam Artha Sanghara Rasaram Chandasamapi Mangalaram Chakartaru Vande Vali Vinayak Bhavani Sankaro Vande Shraddha Viswas Jupiro Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddhaswantastamishwaram Vande Buddhamayi Nityam Guru Shankara Rupino Yamasvito Vatrupi Chandra Sarvatra Bandhyati Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahm Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gananayaka Karivara Bhagana रामेश्वर भगवान की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, संतन की जय, जय सीताराम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Today's Saturday is a day that is dedicated to the worship of Sri Hanumanji. So before I commence my discourse this evening, we shall pay homage to Bajrang Bali. He is the epitome of strength and courage, of perseverance and determination. He indeed is a true symbol of a victory. Salutations unto thee, Hanumanji, who art the ever faithful, humble, devoted servant of Prabhu Shri Ram. Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Hanuman, Jai Hanuman,
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 Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Hanuman, Jai Hanuman.
Hanuman, Jai Hanuman, Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Everyone just clap, come on.
तुमको संकट मोचन बजरंगी हनुमान, तुम सब जानो हम तुमसे अब क्या मांगे भगवान। हनुमान जय हनुमान, हनुमान जय हनुमान, हनुमान जय हनुमान, हनुमान जय हनुमान। दशरथ नंदन राम रतन की आंखों पे तुम तारे, दशरथ नंदन राम रतन की आंखों पे तुम तारे। सीता मैया के चरणों में, सीता मैया के चरणों में तुमने पल पल तारे, तुमने पल पल तारे। घर पे तेरा ध्यान, तुम सब जानो हम तुमसे अब क्या मांगे भगवान। हनुमान जय हनुमान, 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 जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय बजरंगी, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय
जय बजरंगी जय हनुमान पुत्र हनुमान की सियावर रामचंद्र की
So let me begin my discourse tonight by bringing you some good news. Can we do some good news? Yes. So the good news is Shri Ram loves you. Can you get better than that? Can you get better than that? Now you take this seriously. Shri Ram loves you. He loves you more than he loves his own self. He loves you more than you love yourself. He loves you more than anyone else who would claim to love you ever loves you. That is how much Shri Ram loves you. You say, well, tell me something I don't know. Well, we tend to forget that. Oftentimes we tend to forget that God still loves you regardless. We love God because of, you can fill in the blanks, because He is your mother, because you see Him as your father, because He's your protector, because He's your GPS. Is He your GPS? Yeah, He's your GPS. He's your G, He's your P, He's your S. He is your guide, He is your protector, and He is your savior. GPS. He is your GPS. So, we love Him because of all of this. Because He guides us, because He protects us, because He saves us, because He helps us in so many ways. But He, in turn, loves us not because of, but in spite of. He loves you in spite of your inadequacy. He loves you in spite of your insufficiency. He loves you in spite of your faults and limitations. He loves you in spite of all sins committed. He loves you for whoever and whatever you are and wherever you are. This is the kind of love that the Lord has for you and me. And all of us, my dear brothers and sisters, should leave here tonight feeling that love that the Lord has from us, feeling reconciled, feeling assured and reassured that in the midst of all our trials and tribulations, in the midst of all our difficulties and problems, there's someone who truly cares about you, someone who truly loves you, someone who will never abandon your side, someone who will continue to walk hand in hand with you. And when the journey gets tough and you can't go along anymore, then He carries you also in His arms. That someone is none other than Lord Shri Ram. And that is the Lord whom we've all come to glorify Him this entire week, to whose glories we've come to listen to and to be inspired from. Because, my dear brothers and sisters, He is that Jagat Pita. He is that universal Father who truly loves His child. And if you are a child of the Lord, and all of us are children of the Lord, then Bhagwan Shri Ram, He goes out of the way to reassure us in His own words as to how much He loves us and how much He cares for us. So when you're going through your difficulties, whether it be a health issue, whether it be a financial issue, whether it be a relationship issue, whatever the nature, whatever the cause or the source of your problem, know that in the middle of all of this, there is someone there who is opening that umbrella over you. When you look at Sri Ram, he has this arrow and bow he carries in his hand. Is that so? You see in the picture, he carries his arrow and bow, but he has something else in his hand which you can't see. And that something that he has in his hand is called a master key. You know what he does with that master key? He opens up doors for you. Doors which you never ever even thought existed before. He opens up these doors for you because he loves you. तुलसीदास जी उत्तराखंड हाथ सुन ली happened to visit this Pro, happened to visit Ayodhya, and he had a conversation with Sri Ram. And these are the words of Lord Sri Ram, not to Padma necessarily, but to all of us. All of us here are the recipient of this message. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama 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 पिता के बहुत से पुत्र अलग अलग गुण स्वभाव और आचरण वाले होते हैं। कोई विद्वान होता है, कोई तपस्वी, कोई ज्ञानी, कोई धन धान्य से पूर्ण, कोई शूरवीर, कोई दानी, कोई सर्वज्ञ धर्मरत, कोई सब पर बितही प्रीति सम होई। कोई सर्वज्ञ और कोई धर्मरत धर्मात्मा होता है। पृथक पृथक गुण वाले पुत्रों के पिता का प्रेम इन सभी पर एक जैसा होता है, परंतु कौ पितु भगत वचन मन कर्मा सपने जामन दूसर धर्मा। परंतु इनमें से यदि कोई मन वचन और कर्म से पिता का भक्त होता है, सपने में भी कोई दूसरा धर्म का नहीं जानता, सो सुत प्रिय पितु प्राण समाना जरपी सो सर्वभाती अयाना। तो वह पुत्र पिता को प्राणों के समान प्यारा होता है, चाहे वह सब प्रकार से मूर्ख कि क्यों ना हो। इसी प्रकार नित्य पशु पक्षी देव मनुष्य और असुरों सहित जितने ही जड़ चेतन जीव है। Now, Mohanji will understand this, of course. I welcome you by Mohanji. With me tonight. So this is what Sri Ram is telling all of us here. एक पिता के विपुल कुमार, and he uses this analogy, very beautiful analogy for us so that we get the point. He says, a father has many sons. You want to listen carefully? A father may have many sons, each different in their respective attainments and achievements, in their disposition and in their conduct, good and seal. One, for example, Pandit, one is very learned, he's a Pandit. Tapasya Gyata, one practices austerities, penances. One is spiritually enlightened. Dhanvant, one is rich. Surakaudata, and one is Idani, one who is charitably disposed, charitable person. The seventh one is all wise. And the eighth one, he is intent on righteous activities. Sri Ram says, this father loves all of these sons equally because they are all his sons, all his children. And you can relate. You have whatever amount of children you may have, the tendency is for you to love your children because they're all your children. But Sri Ram makes a point here. And he says that Kopitu Bhakta Vachan Man Karma Sapane Jana Dusa Dharma. And among these is one of his sons who is ever dutiful in thoughts, in words, and by his actions to his father. And he dreams of no other duty. Sapane Jana Dusa Dharma. He dreams of no other duty except to serve his father. For example, if the father gets old, and he gets of age, and he's sick, and he's in bed, and he's bedridden, for example, this son will come every day, and he will feed his father, he will shower his father, he will take care of the father, he will comb his father's hair, he will change his clothes, he would talk to his father, he will give his father so much love, he would dedicate his entire time to service of his father. Whereas the other sons are there also, they may love the father. But this one in particular, he finds the time to serve this father. He serves him in every way. He truly cares about his father. And not because he's expecting that the father is going to put his name on the will, or give him some kind of inheritance, or he does after his father's wealth. He does so from the purity and the selflessness of his heart and the love of his heart for his father. These are the words of Sri Ram. That he says, So Sutta Priya Pitu Prana Samana To Vaha Putra Pita Ko Prano Ke Saman Pyara Hota Hai. So the question is, which of these sons would his father really take? Which one will actually melt the father's heart? And of course, obviously, it will be this son. Sri Ram is saying that that father loves that son as his own life, even though that son may be a perfect ignoramus. He may not have graduated from college, no have any degrees, no wealth, nothing. Pretty much anonymous. But the father loves that boy because when the father opens his eyes in the morning, he sees that son. Before he goes to sleep, that son is there by his side. That is the son that is taking care of him day and night. And hence, father loves that son. So Sri Ram uses this analogy and he says,
विश्वया मोर पद पर मोहि बराबर का श्री राम जय राम नर जो परिहरि भजनाता भजई मोहि अब चलू का श्री राम जय राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम पुरुषन तुम सकलारिवा जीव चराचर पुरुषन तुम सकलारिवा जीव चराचर अपनाद भज भगत करी सद्भाव भज कपट करी होई परम प्रिय Sri Ram makes a point here, my brothers and sisters, as in this conversation with Father Sundi. He says, यह समस्त संसार मेरी ही रचना है. This entire universe is my creation, the Lord says. और सब पर मेरी बराबर कृपा है. I am equally compassionate to all. In other words, the Lord does not despise anyone. He doesn't have hatred for anyone. Based on a person's race, based on a person's gender, based on a person's religion, based on a person's ethnicity, based on a person's nationality, based on a person's background. In his own words to Shabari, Jati Pati Kul Dharm Barai, Sri Ram very lucidly and very explicitly outlines the yardstick that he uses to measure people when he says, I judge no one based on their wealth, based on their caste, based on their creed, based on their pedigree, based on their status, based on their position, based on their accomplishments. None of this matters to the Lord. Here he's saying that, O Kagusuni, I am equally compassionate to all. And this has a parallel
in the Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in chapter 9, and he says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshu asya priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maiti teshu chapyaham. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. O Arjuna, I am the same to all beings. Samoham. I am the same to all beings. None is my enemy, nor is any my friend. Name dveshu asya priya. But there's a condition here. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maiti teshu chapyaham. Those who worship me with devotion, they are in me and I am in them. Here the Ramayan is saying, Sri Ram is saying that I'm compassionate to all. I love everyone. I love my entire creation. They're all my children. Everyone. However, he who worships me, Tinha Mahajo Parihari Madmaya, Vajo Mohi, Vaja Arukaya, in thoughts, इनमें जो मद और माया क्या कर मन वचन और शरीर से मुझे बचता है. He who worships me in thoughts, by his thoughts, mentally, verbally, through his words, and by his actions, then Purusha Rasam Napumsaka Nariva Jeev Charachara Koi. वह पुरुष हो, नपुंसक हो, स्त्री हो, अथवा जड़ चेतन कोई भी प्राणी हो, whether he is male, female, animate creature, if in all his heart and soul he worships me, giving up all guile, sarvabhav bhaj kapat, all kapat, then says the Lord, he is most of all dear to me. He will always enjoy my permanent love and protection. Now, I'm pretty sure that you've had experiences, many of you, some terrible experiences, when you really caught between a rock and a hard place, and when you pretty much stared at a blank wall, and there was like no hope in sight, and you're wondering what's going to happen next. You can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You're so helpless, you're so desperate. Sometimes you're lying on a hospital bed and you're wondering whether you're going to make it through the night to see the dawn of a new day. Sometimes you're so caught up in financial difficulty, you wonder when you're going to lose your home, whether your job is gone, how you're going to make ends meet to pay your bills. So many things, you're afflicted in so many ways. And this feeling of helplessness sets in. And my dear brothers and sisters, I'm pretty sure with your faith intact, with your faith unshakable and unwavering, the Lord has come through for you. He has uplifted you from that sea of sorrow. He has saved you from that potential tragedy that you're about to experience. With his own hands, he has wiped away all those tears from your face, and he's replaced them with smiles of joy. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the Lord Shri Ram whom we worship. He comforts you when you're sad. He embraces you when you're feeling lonely. He stretches his hand out to you when your hands are empty. He wakes up with you in the morning. He accompanies you when you go on that train to work, or on the bus, or even walking on the street. He is with you. He never absent from you. He never gives up on you. Even though sometimes we may give up on him, he never gives up on you. Why? Because Shri Ram loves you. He truly loves you. How does he love you? He loves you unconditionally. No strings attached. He simply loves you because you, each of you, if I were to ask a question, if you were to ask Shri Ram the question, who's your favorite child? Shri Ram will say, you are. Each of us is his favorite. My dear brothers and sisters, that is the kind of faith you must have in the Lord Shri-Ram. Never let that faith dwindle at all for any reason. He makes the impossible happen in your life. He has made the impossible happen in the lives of so many devotees in the Ramayana, in our personal lives as well. The world, as we speak, as it has changed so much, the world needs to return back to the feet of the Lord. Now, as I said earlier in my opening remarks, so many things, changes have happened in the world over the past years. In fact, in the past century, the past half century. What we find happening is there have been tremendous breakthroughs in the area of science and technology, where epidemics and pandemics have been eradicated from the world or brought under control. We recently lived through COVID, and we've seen the disaster that COVID has caused, and we've seen again the ingenuity of mankind inventing this vaccine that could curb COVID and save the world's population. In the area of technology, the world pretty much has been reduced to a village where everyone is only a text message away, a phone call away. And we're proud of science and technology, what it's achieved over the years. But my dear brothers and sisters, sad to say, in the midst of all of this, our problems didn't go away. And what is the cause for this? Tulsidasi, right? This chaupai kedama, utarkan kedama. Ram siya Ram, jai jai Ram. Ram siya Ram, jai jai Ram. Ram siya Ram, jai jai Ram. Ram siya Ram. Declaration of Independence of this country is a clause that espouses the pursuit of happiness, which means that one of the inalienable rights that we have in this country, that Americans have in America, is the pursuit of happiness, the right to be happy, pursuit of happiness. In the process of pursuing happiness, my dear brothers and sisters, our life is so intertwined with the circumstances, the world, that so entangled that we fail to find happiness. You know, happiness is like is like a butterfly. It lights on your shoulder, and you think you want to catch it, and it flies away. And you pursue it, you're chasing it, You fail to grab it, because it's ahead of you, fleeing from you. Well, happiness is not something that you chase. C-H-A-S-E. Happiness is something that you C-H-O-O-S-E, that you choose. You choose to be happy. Give it a shot. Wake up tomorrow morning and tell yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You're going to be happy today. Today, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a happy person today. I'm going to ignore all these negative phone calls. I'm going to ignore all negative encounters during the day. I'm going to ignore any kind of bad news. I am determined that on this day, I'm going to be happy. You tell yourself, and stick to that resolve. I am going to be happy today. And spend your entire day being happy. Because if you want to be happy, don't all of us want to be happy? All you got to do is just be happy. That's all. Just be happy. Don't wait until you retire to be happy. Retirement and happiness don't go hand in hand, you know. You have a lot of time then, but the health may fail. You may have a lot of money then, but no health to enjoy it. So happiness is not something that you postpone. You cannot postpone it. You have to live it each day. And if each day you're going to make that day of happiness, then when you add up all these days together, and you wind up at Lee McDonald one day, or Leo Corns one day, or one of these places, and then when you look back at the journey, you say, you know what? Hey, I had a happy life. Because all of these happy days accumulated together becomes a happy life. And all of us were born to be happy. None of us, why did we come to America? Why? Because you want to be happier than where you were. Or to be happy where happiness was not found. We didn't come here to be unhappy or to be less happy. All of us need to be happy. So Sri Ram is giving us this formula. First of all, he identifies the root cause of unhappiness. You know, sometimes I get calls, some devotees call and say, Pandit, can you please check the book for me? Open the book. So I said, yes. What's the problem? When you look like this, how somebody can agree with me, you know? I said, why do you say so? Well, I was much happier in the basement. When I was living in that basement, I was so happy. I said, why were you happy in the basement? Are you not happy now in this house? Well, I had less bills to pay. And it was so nice and cozy at the bottom there. I didn't know what I was getting into now. I said, well, why don't you do something there? Why don't you sell this house and go back and live in the basement? You think you can do that? He said, no, we can't do that because, look, we move out of the basement, we're here. I said, well, your problem is, you don't have to open a book for that. The problem is that you have to learn to curb your desires. Now, desires are good things. Desires are not bad. They're wholesome and unwholesome desires. Desires are good. But when these desires evolve into greed, and when greed becomes an obsession, then you have a problem. Then happiness simply eludes you. Can't experience it. Sri Ram is making a point here in the Ramayana. And he says in this Chaupai that Bidu Santosha Kam Nasahi, Kam Achat Sapane Hunahi, Santosh na hua, to काम ना का काम वासना का नाश नहीं होता और कामनाओं के रहने सपने भी सुख नहीं हो सकता. You can't be happy. सुख नहीं हो सकता. You can't be happy as long as these desires continue to multiply and multiply. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, I illustrated nicely for you. There's something that is called the 99 Club. Ever heard about 99 Club? This 99 Club goes like this. Once there was a happy beggar. He was very happy. You know, life of a beggar. And he's begging. Some days he got, some days he didn't get, some days he got little, some days he got a lot. But whatever it was, at the end of the day, he was very happy. He was happy begging, and he was happy with the result of the begging as well. So, one day, this king and his minister were walking by. And the king saw this beggar singing merrily on the street. This beggar is so happy. So this king saw him, and the king, he was very impressed at this beggar's happiness. In fact, the king became jealous, because the king is thinking now, I have all this kingdom, I have all this wealth, and I am not as happy as this poor beggar. So he told the minister, he says, how come this beggar is happy, even though he is so poor? And how come I am not so happy, even though I'm rich and powerful? So the minister says, well, I'll show you something. So what the minister did, he went in the night and he put a pot of gold at the door of this beggar. When this beggar woke up the next morning, he saw, to his amazement, wow, a pot of gold, and there were gold coins in here. So the first thing he did, he counted these gold coins. And he found there were 99 coins in this pot. So he's wondering, where did the other one go? There's 99. It's supposed to be 100. It was not supposed to be 100. He thought it was supposed to be 100. So, you know what he did? Now he was unhappy. His happiness disappeared now. He was unhappy because he wanted to find that 100th coin to make up this 99 and make it 100. So what he did? He left the pot of gold at home, gold coins, and he went back begging. Begging his duty, begging the rest of his life to get that one gold coin to make up the 100. Totally ignored the fact that he was a rich man with 99 coins. With a lack of contentment. Sri Ram says, this is the problem here. And he says in the words of the Uttarakhand Ramayana, Binu Santosh, Kamanan Sahi. He thought, Santosh na hua, without that contentment, to Kamna ka Kam, Vasanu ka Nash nahi hota, there is no cessation of this desire. And that seems to be a problem with many people today, my dear brothers and sisters. Many times, we tend to complain about the things you don't have. Because other people have them. You want what they have also. You're supposed to have what they have. So then you spend your entire life now in misery. But think for a moment. Just think for a moment. See, you have to count your blessings. There are others behind you who would long to have what you have. They want to be in your position. You have an old car driving, some of them walking, they would love to have that car you have. They have a bicycle. They want to have your car, regardless how old it is. It is a car. They never have a car. You, on the other hand, you want the Mercedes Benz. You're not happy with what you have. See? That is how it works. So that is what causes this lack of contentment. So we have to rationalize within ourselves, my dear brothers and sisters. And we have to understand how this process works. We have to curb our greed. When you can do that, then Sri Ram says here in the Uttarakhand Ramayana then it becomes the roadway or the road map for happiness. And that is how we will enjoy a fruitful life. So happiness, as I said, is not something that you chase, but it's something that you choose. You choose to be happy. And all of us must make that choice. One philosopher, Socrates, you know what he says? He said, one who is not contented with what he has will not be contented with what he would like to have. He'll not be contented. Because what you have, the habit is there. So another philosopher, Plato, he was asked two questions. And the first question was, what are the behaviors of people that surprise you the most? And Plato replied. He says, this is attentive, he says, these are words of wisdom. They get bored in childhood and they hurry to grow up. But then they miss their childhood. They lose their health to earn money, and then they pay money to regain their health. Worried about tomorrow, they forget about today. In the end, they live neither today nor tomorrow. They live as if they will never die, but they die as if they have never lived. And that seems to be the sad commentary of many. So the second question was, what do you suggest? And the sage replied, he says, don't try to get anyone to like you. The only thing to do is to leave yourself to be loved. The most important thing in life is not to have the most, but to need the least. And that speaks of a wealthy person. Not the one who has the most, but one who needs the least. And if we can balance our life in this manner, my dear brothers and sisters, then each of us will be happy, according to Sri Ram. And he wants to see all of us happy. As a parent, you want to see your child happy. You never want to see your child in tears, complaining things are not going well. So whatever God, he blesses us with, we must accept these things. And, of course, it doesn't mean that you must resign yourself to your fate or to your destiny and say, well, you can't get better than this. But we must understand what God is doing in our lives. He knows what is best for us. See, he can't make everything happen all at once in everybody's life. There was once a farmer, and this farmer had two daughters. And his daughters got married. One got married to a farmer, and one was married to a potter. So after some time, he went to check up these two girls and find out how they were doing. So the one who was married to the farmer says, well, things could not be better, Dad. Things are good because it's been raining non-stop, and this rain is good for the farm. So the crops are flourishing, and then my husband could sell off these crops in the marketplace, and we could make a very good living. So please, Dad, could you please pray that it continues to rain? So the man nodded, said, yes, I understand. Then he goes to the next daughter and says, how are you doing, my child? He said that things could not get any worse. He said, what do you mean? He says, well, my husband is a potter, and he makes these artifacts out of clay, and he puts them to dry out there, and so that he can sell them off in the market and make a living. But it's been raining so much, non-stop, that these artifacts don't get a chance to dry at all, and so things are really, really bad with us. Could you please pray, Dad, that the rain stops, so that we can make a living? And the father nodded. He said, yes, I understand. So that father is like God. And we are like these two children. While one is praying for rain, the other praying for a son. See, so it's hard to please everybody at the same time. Hard to please us also at the same time. Sometimes, you pray for some things and you get what you pray for, and then you want to get rid of it. The next thing you want to get rid of it as fast as you got it. And so life goes on like in this manner. So my dear brothers and sisters, this Ramayan in the park here, this entire week, is an effort for all of us to reaffirm our faith in the Lord. For all of us to remind ourselves of our relationship with God. If there is no relationship with the Lord, establish one now. It is not late. Because that is the relationship that's going to guide us and protect us and save us along this journey. And more importantly, in the hereafter as well. This is what all of us need. So, Shri Ram has come. Bhakt hetu Bhagwan Prabhu Ram Dhareu Tarabu Ke Charit Pavan Param Prakrit Nar Anurup. That for the sake of his devotees, you and me, he has come to the world. And he's come to teach all of us vital lessons as to how we should live our lives. And in this last chaupai, Shri Ram tells us, he gives us a formula. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. 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 Jane binu na hoi parkiti, jane binu na hoi parkiti, binu parkiti koi nahi priti. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. 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 Priti bina nahi ghar ki karai, priti bina nahi ghar ki karai, jini jarpan kalte chikrai, jini jarpan kalte chikrai. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. 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 Jani binu na hoi parkiti, binu parkiti koi nahi priti. So Shri Ram offers us a formula. Number one, he says, all of us should seek to educate ourselves, to acquire jnana, which means knowledge. उनकी प्रभुता का ज्ञान हुए बिना उन पर विश्वास नहीं जमता. Without knowledge, without such understanding, there can be no vishwas, no confidence. Without knowledge, there is no confidence or trust. Now what does it mean? It means that you and I, and all of us as Hindu brothers and sisters here around the world, all of us need to enlighten ourselves more of the exploits of God, the glories of God, You do so by pertaining yourself to satsang, by attending your mandir, by being in this type of fellowship, whereby you can learn and improve and augment our knowledge of the divine, knowledge of the self. See, we have the scriptures at our disposal, and in fact, all of us should be proud of the fact that we are Hindus. Because as Hindus, we are exposed to the most scriptural work that there is in any other faith in the world. I will be proud of that. Because we're not guided by one single text. We have the 4 Vedas, we have the 18 Puranas, Upapuranas, we have the Upanishads, we have the Mahabharata, the epic Ramayan, Bhagavad Gita. All of these texts that contain invaluable lessons and knowledge for all of us to benefit from. So the knowledge is not there to be confined to the text, but the text has to be read with frequency, and the knowledge has to be disseminated. All of us can benefit from it. Now, we just celebrated yesterday Indian Independence Day. And when you look back at Bharat Mata, and look at the history of our people, of our foreparents who migrated out to the shores of India and settled in the Caribbean. When they went to the Caribbean, they took these texts with them. They took the Ramayana with them. They took the Puranas with them. They took the Bhagavad Gita with them. And they didn't put these books on the shelf and put flowers in them and do the arti. They read these books. They enacted scenes from the books. They enacted all these different episodes. They enlightened themselves. They lived their lives in accordance to the Ramayana. The wedding ceremony was based on the wedding of Sri Ram and Sita. All the festivals that they celebrated were based on the scriptures. So these texts were written. They educated themselves. The knowledge was spread, but disseminated amongst everyone who were there. And so because of that, we are sitting tonight here at Ramayan Park in New York City and listening to Ram Katha for the entire week. Because of the knowledge that was shared with all those ancestors. They made it a point to share this knowledge with others. Now, we have a similar duty to continue to share this knowledge with others. Because, according to the Ramayana, what it does for you? With knowledge then, what it does, it increases your confidence. Confidence in whom? Confidence in the Lord. You trust in the Lord. You trust in Him because you know more about Him. If I were to tell you, you must give this person something, you may obey me and say, okay, but you don't know the reason why I'm asking you to do that. But if you know who the person is and why you're giving this, then it makes much more sense. So all of us must enlighten. And nowadays, you have knowledge accessible to you on the internet. You can Google pretty much anything you want to know, and the answers are there. Sri Ram is prioritizing the acquisition of knowledge. So all of us, because with this knowledge, what you do, you develop more confidence. Then, he says, Vinu paratiti hoi nahi priti. Without confidence, then there is no love. Now, point is this. Religion is based on faith. We are worshipping a God whom you may not see in person. Like us humans. We see him only in the murti. We read about his glories in the book. How do we know he really exists? With the knowledge that is exposed to us, and with your own personal experiences, you know that the Lord whom you're worshipping is for real. All religions are based on some kind of text that they are guided by. Faith here is very important. Now, when we speak of faith, faith is something that is your most sacred and valuable possession. And nobody should ever tamper with your faith. The enemy of faith is fanaticism. Fanaticism means when people tell you, well, my way is the only way. My way is the only true way. My way is the best way. Your way is the wrong way. If you don't come my way, then you can't go to heaven. Now, that is wrong. Sanatana Dharma does not emphasize that. If there's any text, my dear brothers and sisters, that is so liberal and so inclusive when it comes to the worship of God, it is the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 11, where Lord Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prabhadyanti, tang sathaiva bhajamyaham, Mama Vartamanu Vartanti Manushya Parta Sarvesha. Lord says that in any way that men seek me, in that same way they will find me. For many are the pathways of men, but in the end they all come to me. Sanatana Dharma does not bash anybody's religion. We do not criticize anyone's way of worship. We respect the Christian, we respect the Jew, we respect the Muslim, we respect even the atheist. We respect everyone. But the point is this: if we're going to respect you for your path, for your beliefs, then in the least, please respect us as well. If I'm going to respect you, your faith, then please respect mine. If you can respect me and I can respect you, then we'll have a beautiful, happy, peaceful, harmonious world. But the problem is, religion has morphed into the most powerful weapon of mass destruction in today's world. And there's no secret about it. Because people cannot see eye to eye when it comes to God, and belief in God, and the existence of God, and the worship of God. And because of this, mankind has become each other's enemies. And so many wars we find going on in the world today. So sad, you see so many innocent lives being lost in the name of religion. Many fighting for God. We wonder what God would be saying. And he sees all his children, this massacre happening on him. The unstoppable bloodshed is happening every day. Ramayana is teaching us, my dear brothers and sisters, educate yourself. Strengthen your faith in God. Let not your faith be compromised for no reason. Your faith will be tested in time. It's being tested almost every day. You are expected to pass the test. Not everything you pray for, you're going to get. The Lord tests you. Sometimes He delays what you're asking for. Sometimes that's meant for you. And when you don't get what you ask for, do not lose faith. That seems to be the problem of many people. Many of our Hindu brothers and sisters. Pray and pray and say, well, it doesn't look, I'm saying the right prayers, I'm praying to the right God. And then somebody comes at that very vulnerable point, when you become so vulnerable because you're not so enlightened in the religion, you become a vulnerable target for conversion. It's happening in the world today. But when you know, when you have knowledge about Sri Ram, when you have knowledge about Durga Ma, when you have knowledge about Lord Shiva, when you have knowledge about Bhagwan Krishna, you think anybody can come and twist your arm and say, hey, come my way? Imagine you have your mother who gave you birth. And this mother cradled you, and she nurtured you, and she cared for you, and she fed you, and she sheltered you, and she did everything for you. And then sometimes she gets aged and wrinkled, and somebody else comes and says, you know what, your mother is not looking pretty these days. I'm going to give you a better solution here. Leave this lady here. You come call my mother. I'm going to give you a new mother. You worship, you love her as your mother. What are you going to do? You're going to say, yeah, you're right. Bye-bye, mom. I got a new mom now. And you got to be heartless to do that, right? And I mean heartless. Sanatan Dharma is our mother, my dear brothers and sisters. Sanatan Dharma has given us birth. Sanatan Dharma has cradled us. Sanatan Dharma has nurtured us. Sanatan Dharma has sheltered us. Sanatan Dharma teaches us. Sanatan Dharma enlightens us. Sanatan Dharma gives us what our culture is. Sanatan Dharma is our true mother. Do not abandon that mother. Let us just love her because she gave us birth. She is our mother. That is what faith here means. The Ramayana speaks of in this verse. So Sri Ram is saying here that time has come for us, and that is what this Ramayana part is all about anyway. This entire week here, all the competent Vyaas narrated to us from the text, bringing us these messages, knowledge from the Sri Ramakrishna. If you take a simple sentence, what's been told to you during the entire week, or a simple thought, and you go home, and you revolve in your mind what you heard the Ramayana in the park for the entire week, not only tonight, but for the entire week, something that actually touched your soul, something that puts you to think, something that moves you. That the simple thought could become transformational. it could transform you into a whole different person. One single thought, one single lesson, single message that we learn from the text. That's how important it is for us to enlighten ourselves. So we must not be naive, shy when it comes to the acquisition of knowledge. And if you have any questions, something that doesn't make sense, if your children will ask you something, that Mom, what is this puja is about? Or Dad, what are we doing here? Why this? Why the motifs? Why do we worship stone images? Why idols? All of this. And you don't know the answer for about all this, then you ask the competent source, and it will be explained to you. Because there's nothing that we do in Sanatana Dharma which cannot be explained, or which do not have logical answers. Everything has a basis. And you know, I've traveled extensively pretty much. And I've traveled a lot in the African continent. And you've seen some of my postings there from countries like Ghana, for example. And you've seen also in those postings, what the Africans, these are African people now, not Indians, African, it was Africans, how much they cherish and they embrace our Dharma, your Dharma, my Dharma. And you know what? They give up all their African and Christian names, and they want to be called Shiva, Radha, Madhavi, Ram, Hanuman. That's their name. In fact, the children that are born now, this generation of those African Hindus there, they name them, birth name is to have Hindu names. And they conduct Hindu wedding ceremonies. And they have their satsang every single Sunday morning at 6 a.m. sharp. Monday is filled to capacity. 6 a.m. 6 a.m. you're making your first turn. 6 a.m. filled to capacity. They perform the Havan, Yagya, and then they chant the Hanuman Chalisa, and they have a discourse on the Gita and everything else. I partner with them when I go there. And I must tell you, these are die-hard Hindus. And when you go there, when I go there, my impression, I have double feeling. I feel proud and ashamed both. I feel proud of the fact what these brothers and sisters there are doing for Sanatana Dharma. And I feel ashamed of those of us who have it in their hands, born with it, and yet walk away from it. And that is sad. So, these are things we must learn from. And must make all of us feel prouder as sons and daughters of Sanatana Dharma. That no one tamper with your faith. What we have is indeed invaluable, priceless. So my dear brothers and sisters, tonight, as we examine the pages of Sri Ramacharya, bring this message to you from Uttarakhand, and shall soon bring the curtain down on the Sri Ramacharya for the Ramayana Park this year 2024. We salute all of you for your attendance here during the entire week. And we do hope that in the aftermath of this Ramayana Park, we shall see a rejuvenation of faith and a recommitment to these timeless values of Sanatana Dharma. जब जब तेरा नाम लिया है, जब जब तेरा नाम लिया है, बन गए बिगड़े काम। तेरी दया हो जिसने ऊपर, उसको मिले सब धाम। बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम। Everybody. बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम,
छुपे ना कोई, तू सब किसको कितना दे दे, तू सब किसको कितना दे दे, जान सकेगा कोई। बोलो राम सीता राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम 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 सीता राम, राम राम, बोलो राम सीता राम, राम राम सीता राम, बोलो राम सीता राम। ये दुनिया है अंधा सागर, तू है एक किनारा। ये दुनिया है अंधा सागर, तू है एक किनारा। तेरे दर्शन से मिलती है, तेरे दर्शन से मिलती है जीवन का सुख धारा। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम, राम राम, बोलो राम सीता राम, बोलो राम 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 सीता राम, राम राम, बोलो राम सीता राम। सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम। Now we shall welcome Sri Ram tonight to the Ramayana part. सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम। हरे राम 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 सीताराम, हरे राम राम सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम। सीताराम 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 जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम। हरे राम 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 सीताराम, हरे राम राम सीताराम। पति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम। हरे राम राम सीताराम, हरे राम सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम जय बोलो जय सीताराम। हरे राम सीताराम, हरे राम सीताराम, हरे राम सीताराम, हरे राम सीताराम। ओ सर पे मुकुट साजे मुख पे उजाला, मुख पे उजाला। हाथ धनुष गले में पुष्पमाला, गले में पुष्पमाला। हम दास इनके
सबके स्वामी अनजान हम अंतर्यामी शीश झुकाओ राम गुण गाओ बोलो जय विष्णु की अवतारी बोलो राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी की लीला है न्यारी न्यारे राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी की लीला है न्यारी न्यारे एक तरफ लक्ष्मण एक तरफ सीता एक तरफ लक्ष्मण एक तरफ सीता बीच में जगत के पालनहारी राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी की लीला है न्यारी न्यारे राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी की लीला है न्यारी न्यारे धीरे चला रथ हो रखवाले तोरे खबर क्या हो भोले भाले भोले भाले बार देखे जलना भरेगा सौ बार देखो फिर भी करेगा सौ बार देखो फिर भी करेगा क्या पुल करे हैं सस्ते खड़े हैं क्या पुल बड़े हैं सस्ते खड़े हैं दर्शन की जाती है सब नर नारी राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी के लीला है न्यारी न्यारी राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी के लीला है न्यारी न्यारी एक तरफ लक्ष्मण एक तरफ सीता एक तरफ लक्ष्मण एक तरफ सीता बीच में जगत के पालनहारी राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी के लीला है न्यारी न्यारी राम जी के निकले सवारी राम जी के लीला है न्यारी न्यारी राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 राम 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 बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की So I conclude my message tonight, my brothers and sisters, the same way I started it. That is, Shri Ram loves you. I want all of you to go home tonight and examine your relationship with the Lord. How close am I with God? How close is He from me? Or how distant is He or she from me? Now is the time to fill that gap. We find that He or she is distant from us. For us to reflect on our prayer life, on our spiritual life. And I want you to remember always, every day someone is going. Don't surprise, every day you get news someone is leaving us. And one day that someone will be us. Before that day comes, let us live a fruitful and a productive life, so that in the hereafter there are no regrets. May the blessings of Bhagwan Sri Ram be with all of us here tonight. May Ramayana Park continue age after age. As Saint Valmiki in his Ramayana says, Yavat istandigiriya saritascha mahitale tavat Ramayana katha lokeshu pracharisyati. As long as mountains stand and rivers flow, so long the glories in the name of the Lord Sri Ram will be heard. Bolo Siyavara Ramachandra Bhagwan ki.
Thank you very much. Now, how was that? Give the Dharmacharya another big round of applause. And you know, the difference between last year and this year is that last year he was reading as Pandit Chunelall, right? And this year he's reading as the Dharmacharya. And as I was listening to him, I was not listening to Pandit Chunelall, I was listening to someone with authority, because the words came out with authority and are very relevant for our times. These words are very, very relevant. As he said, it's an ancient text for modern times. And that is what the Sri Ramcharitmanas is all about, and Valmiki's Ramayana as well. So this has been a wonderful tirth for the last 7, and tomorrow we will conclude. So we want to thank all of you for leaving the comfort of your homes. You're going to be anywhere else, but you chose to be here. We want to thank so many people, and Harmanji has a list of everybody that he wants to thank, but let me thank Sister Val, who is right here, for the beautiful Ram sequence. And how about Hanumanji? Amazing, isn't it? It's wonderful. And every year we do this, and every year it never fails to capture the imagination, the attention, the love of the crowd here at Ramayan in the Park. And this is what this beautiful religion is all about. And you heard Dharmacharya said in other countries they can't get enough of Sanatan Dharma, and we're throwing it away, we're losing it, which we should not do. We want to acknowledge by Karan Singh here, who is the president of the Mahalakshmi Mandir, and if you happen to pass that street and you look up, you're going to see different towers, they're building one on top of the other, right? It's going to be massive, it's going to be beautiful. So give him and his executive a big round of applause, please. And it's going to be completed next year. So that is something to look forward to. So we want to once more thank you, thank the Dharmacharya, thank the Kirtan group, thank our beautiful murtis up there, living murtis up there. It's beautiful. And Cindy, thank you, Cindy Mahez, on the keyboard. Isn't that beautiful? All the way from Poughkeepsie. And when she heard that the Dharmacharya was reading, she volunteered to be here. So we're very, very proud of her. So I would ask.
Again, every night we have this yajna going on for 11 days. So this park will be very busy for the next few weeks.
Hello. Shriman Pandit Chunelall ji, Reverend Pandit, brothers and sisters, Ram Ram to everybody. Pandit just says, Lord Rama loves you, but we love Pandit Chunelall also. Give a big applause, please. Before I sing this bhajan, I always sing the message in this bhajan is, भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की. When you pray honestly with a strong determination, God will definitely fulfill your wishes. That's the message in this bhajan. I always sing this bhajan, and today also I'm going to sing it. And Pandit Chunelall will give me company. ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की. ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की. कथा भक्त भगवान की, कथा भक्त भगवान की. भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की. कथा भक्त भगवान की, कथा भक्त भगवान की. जब जब भीड़ पड़ी भक्तन पर, प्रभु ने आन उबारा. ओ प्रभु ने आन उबारा. बाल भक्त प्रहलाद को हरि ने नरसिंह बन कर तारा. ओ नरसिंह बन कर तारा. भक्तों के कारण आते हैं, भक्तों के कारण आते हैं कायाधर इंसान की. ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, कथा भक्त भगवान की. भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की. ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की. त्रेता युग में जब रावण ने प्रभु मन को बहलाया. ओ प्रभु मन को बहलाया. तीन संग से तीन बंधु ने नर का रूप बनाया. ओ नर का रूप बनाया. भक्त विभीषण का दुख हरने, भक्त विभीषण का दुख हरने चले राम और जानकी. कथा भक्त भगवान की, कथा भक्त भगवान की. भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की. ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की. सीते सीते हे सीते सुन, पंचकुटी अकुलाई. सीते सीते हे सीते तुम, पंचकुटी अकुलाई. पर्णकुटी के साथ कोई थी, पर्णकुटी के साथ कोई थी. तूने कुटिया जान की. कथा भक्त न करे ये देरी, कह देना भगवान से जाकर, अब न करे ये देरी। आप नहीं आए तो मिलेगी राख की ढेरी। है मुझको हर घड़ी प्रतीक्षा, है मुझको हर घड़ी प्रतीक्षा, भगवान के मुस्कान की।
भगवान की ये कथा भगवान की।
भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की।
ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की।
भक्त विभीषण में भी हनुमान किया अनुपम त्याग रे, किया अनुपम त्याग। बढ़ा दिया प्रभु के चरणों का जीवन का अनुराग रे, जीवन का अनुराग। लिखी भक्त ने पूत रक्त से, लिखी भक्त ने पूत रक्त से, ये गाथा बलिदान की।
ये कथा भक्त भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की।
भगवान को चिंता रहती है भक्तों के कल्याण की।
भगवान की, ये कथा भक्त भगवान की।
You have the mic, you can make it pledge one time.
Pandit is telling me before you put the mic on, you have to announce something.
Yes.
On behalf of my family, I'm going to give $501 for this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So the target is 10,000 tonight to offset the expenses for the week. This thing costs a lot of money to run for the entire week. If you have a small puja at your home, you know how much it costs. Inviting a few guests. So, it can't, without your help and your support, it's not possible. So, we have $1,500 already so far, and we need 10,000. So, the Sri Trimurti Bhavan will pledge $1,001 tonight from our mandir to Ramayan in the park. And I'm not going to deprive you of the opportunity to make your pledge. So please.
Well, Dharmacharya, I will present 5,500. Mr. Shiftahal will give an additional $1,000 on top of the donation you already gave.
500 for me and my family.
My aunt Umadevi Prasad will give $500.
500 for me.
Dr. Don Paul Narine, $500 from his entire family. And Trimurti.
So that's
Really admiring this community.
भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो व्यास महाराज की जय। जय सीताराम।
Shall I ask Pandit Ravi to lead us in concluding prayers?
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वर्णनने। त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे. Oh Bhagavan, we are not your bhakta, but tonight let the message of Ram unlock the shackles that are tying us in this world, in this age of bondage. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Jyoho Shanti Rantariksha Shanti Prithvi Shantir Apa Shantir Oshadhaya Shantir Parnaspatya Shantir Visvami Deva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvigam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Bhi. Prem se Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Ramayana par ki jai, Vyaas Bhagavan ki jai, Jai Jai Sitaram. On behalf of Mahalakshmi Mandir, once again, Jai Sitaram to each and every one of you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Pandit.
Wonderful.
Please take your arati, your tournament. You haven't done so, and Bhojan for everyone. Again, please join us.
Of top-notch decoration. Please give her a big hand. The Tasa group is Talwai's son, Sumdat Chandradat. That is the Olympus Tasa group. And of course, the tent here is from Ramesh of United Party Rental. The song is Deepak. We also like to thank Sati Ramnarayan. We also like to thank, of course, Saras Rupnarayan, Bugsy Beverage, Flavor and Spice Restaurant, Bakewell Bakery. They saying, Bakewell are saying they would like to give you 10% discount when you mention this Ramayana in the park. We'd also like to thank Palm Court Restaurant, Tropical Isle Restaurant, Bamboo Gardens Restaurant, East Coast Auto Repair, Guyana Tasty Chow Mein, of course, Silver Star Restaurant, and we also like to thank Bablu Shankar and Kim Shankar, Guyana Choice West Indian Grocery Store. And if you want any professional puja flags, the ones that we have up here, you could get in touch with Sati. She's up here on the stage. Also, Indrawati Shivnarayan. Diane is in the Bandaro area there. Daiwanti Sibangal from Light and Bright Early Learning Center. We'd also like to thank Sagar. Sagar is from India, and from Sri Lanka, and his wife is from India. In the Bandara area, we like to thank Roby from Trimurti, Marlene, Ina, Cindy, also Anil Bola, originally from Suriname, and he's claiming he's from Blackbush, Bola. And the other one, Guy Rishi, he said he's from Kanji, but he's from Suriname. We'd like to thank Sumdat Chandradat, Uncle Mani, he's from Trinidad and Tobago, Uncle Harry, Roy Hansraj, Hardat Singh, and Uncle Hardat. Our main sponsor is Cottage Home Care Services, Radio Zindagi, the Harman Singh Community Radio Show, Donji and Family, Sumdat Chandradat, Sri Trimurti Mandir, Arya Spiritual Center, Prem Bhakti Mandir, Bhuvaneshwar Mandir, of course, Sri Devi Mandir. Also, we'd like to thank Pan American Travel. Moti Shiftahal, and Neil Kurchan. And friends, the treasurer is here, Mr. Don G. Prasad, and the assistant treasurer, Ina. So if you'd like to make your donation, they're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanuman ji. I'm looking for Dr. Kamini Dubey. If you're there at the back, I see you. Please come up for a minute. And also we have on stage here a beautiful young lady, Nayana Chetram. So let me tell you a little bit about Nayana in 30 seconds. She is going this fall to Hofstra University as a major in mathematics. Is that awesome? Which young lady studying math these days? So that's like a really beautiful thing. So committee, please come up. Now this young lady here is, I'm gonna say it in one sentence or less. Medicine was made for her and she was made for medicine.
Seat around, everyone. I'm so humbled to be in your presence here tonight in no other than Ayodhya. You see, Ayodhya is this place of blissful perfection. Sri Ram governed Ayodhya, and because of that, there was no warfare, there was no hatred, there was no jealousy, there was no gossip. Instead, there was empathy, love, compassion, justice. And the organizers of Ramayan in the park, for so many years now, have dedicated so much of their energy, time, sweat to create Ayodhya. And tonight, because we are here, all of you, the men in the audience, you're no different than Sri Ram. And the women, we are no different than Sita Ma. All of the children here tonight, you must know that our Sanatan Dharma is strong. So thank you to the organizers of this incredible initiative, Ramayan in the Park, for creating this piece of heaven on earth, of divinity and bliss tonight. Because outside of this, the tent that Auntie Val and Uncle Paul put up here tonight, outside of this, you know, you put on your news, Guruji explained, there's so much hatred, there's so much violence, but we here with the divinity in all of us, we know that this is the type of atmosphere we can create. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for the prior sessions, but because of Facebook and social media, I was able to listen to all of the Vyaas, starting with Pandit Sirtan last Sunday, and going through all of the sessions. We've learned so much. And I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but please put your hands together for Wednesday night, Pandit Nival, who is the youngest Vyaas. He is 20 years old. And Nival, I must say that I watched Nival grow up, and I'm so happy because no matter when, we don't know when any of us are gonna leave this world, but we know that because of people like Nival and his leadership, our religion will outlive every single one of us, and we will have strong leadership. He was humble, he was courageous, he was smart, he was amazing, just hands down amazing. So please give him another round of applause. And of course, we have all of the Vyaas who transformed this entire area into heaven for all of us. Amazing messages. And we, of course, thank the Dharmacharya himself with strong roots, we have the original Dharmacharya, Pandit Chandrika, and he himself blessed this Dharmacharya, my Guruji. Please give him a round of applause for his leadership, his vision. The way he leads, he creates more leaders, and with strong roots, we know that this community will thrive and always, always thrive. So thank you for the selflessness. I see too many people die on a daily basis. So know that this human body that you have, it can go at any time. Disease can overtake it. No one is immune. No one is invincible. So for that reason, every single moment, act with love. Use it to do something good. Give someone a hot meal. Make someone smile. Doesn't require money. Doesn't require any type of wealth. All it requires is the recipe, love. So do not forget the most beautiful message of tonight, which is Sri Ram loves you. And if Sri Ram loves you and Sri Ram loves me, there's no reason why I should not love you and you should not love me. So we'll go to bed knowing tonight that our hearts are full of love, and we left this area different than when we came in tonight. Thank you so much, and Jai Shri Ram. And lastly, we need to keep doing this year after year. So because of that, we always need funds. So I will start for tonight. And on behalf of Randy and I, we would like to give $1,000 for Ramayana in the Park. And for next year, we would like to contribute to the youth concert. So whatever the funds of the youth concert are that starts this, because we need to fill this tent with many more youth than there are tonight. So because of that, Uncle Herman, you look like Shah Rukh Khan tonight. I was mesmerized. Randy pointed you out and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if that's Shah Rukh Khan or Uncle Herman tonight. So thank you so much, Uncle Bambo.
Okay, thank you. Give Tom a big round of applause, please. One of the persons I really admire in this community, and you know.